So say you have a good photo that you want to print, resize and print for your photo board so that it is the same size as your sculpture. Um, and you pull it up on your phone and you push print. Well, you don't know exactly what the size is that it's going to print it out for you. Uh, it could be big like this, or it could be small like this if you cropped it a bunch before you printed it. It just depends. Or it could be like this. Here's another size. So I'm going to show you how to calculate it and resize it so that it's perfect for your photo board and it's just the right size, the same size as your sculpture. I'm going to be using this equation to adjust the picture sizes. So it's sculpture size, whatever size your sculpture is, divided by the picture size equals what percentage to adjust your printer. So to illustrate, I have a little head here that I measured top of head to chin at exactly 7 centimeters. So that's my sculpture size right there. I have a picture of my head that is 5.7 centimeters. Okay, so sculpture size divided by picture size. When you calculate that, it's 7, okay, divided by 5.7, and the answer is 1.23. And so that's what I'm going to adjust the printer for. Now in percentages, 1.23 is 123%. Okay, so I can adjust the printer to that, and then it's going to print. Here's one that I did that to, and it enlarged it to the same size as my sculpture. Okay, now I can take my calipers and I can measure how wide my eyes are, make the eyes that width here. I can measure where my nose is exactly from my chin and just plug it straight in over here, you know, so I can transfer everything I see on this picture to my sculpture. And you would do the same thing to a profile view. It doesn't matter whether it's looking sideways or straight on as far as identifying the total head height and calculating to match the size of your sculpture. But it all comes back again to this equation. This is important. I think I'm gonna tack this up in my studio on the wall so that everyone can see it real clearly. Sculpture size over picture to resize equals the adjustment percentage for the printer. Now, we've been measuring from the top of the head to the chin to adjust the photo, but there will be a lot of times when you don't have the top of the head clearly in the photograph. Either the person's wearing a hat or poofy hair or cropped off at the top edge or something. But this is like the perfect frontal face view. In every other respect, you really want to use it. Perfect detail, perfect angle, great lighting. So if that's the picture you want to use, but you just don't have the top of the head in view, what you can do is default down to the next largest measurement that you do have, which is the eyebrow to the chin instead of the top of the head to the chin. So you have this that you've started, you know the size you want the total head to be here. You can use Andrew Loomis or some other idealized proportions to figure out, you know, the where the eyebrow is, where the nose is, where the chin is, where the hairline is, and that'll help you figure out where the top of the head is. So so this helps you lay in where the eyebrow to the chin is on here, and then you have it over here. So those are two measurements you can figure out and calculate and adjust on your printer. All right, so on this head, I measured it. It's 4 centimeters eyebrow to chin. On this picture, it is 8.5 centimeters. So here's what I do. I go back to my my original equation here. Sculpture size, eyebrow to chin, 4. Right there, sculpture size. Pick to resize, eyebrow to chin, that's this picture, is what I want to reduce down, is 8.5. Okay, so it's going to be 4 centimeters over 8.5 centimeters to my printer adjustment. 4 over 8.5 calculated equals 0.47. All right, so I take my picture to the printer and I type in 47% on my printer, okay, because 0.47 percentage-wise is 47%, and it prints me out this, okay? So that's 47% smaller than this, and this should be exactly the size I need to use for my head. Should be the same exact size. So we can check that because eyebrow to chin is 4 centimeters. So I can put this here and line it up with the eyebrow instead of the top of the head this time. Okay, there's the eyebrow right there. And look, the chin is right at 4 centimeters. All right, so now I know I can use all my measurements here. I can put calipers from the nose to the chin or width of the head or whatever and plug it in over here, and it will help me shape the likeness. So I wanted to show you an example of how I've had to use chin to eyebrow as a way to calculate a photo enlargement. This is Admiral Chester Nimitz from World War II. I did a portrait sculpture of him. I had a good front view, but this was my best side view, which had his hat in the way, so I couldn't rescale it from the top of his head to his chin. So instead, I got this measurement after this was the right size, and I just calculated chin to eyebrow on this one to get it to match. Okay, so also you can see how I mounted these two pictures straight across from each other, where like the eyebrows are straight across from each other, the chins are straight across from each other. So I can just take my calipers and, you know, measure this, plug it into my sculpture, measure that, plug it into my sculpture, and I can, you know, use both of these real effectively when I'm doing the portrait. Then I got the extra smaller pictures, but they're still big enough to really see good detail off of underneath. But the main views just really draw my attention, you know, when I glance up at the photo board. So I wanted to show you how to use this equation on a 6-inch head, which is what we use in our head sculpting workshop. So 6 inches translates to 15.24 centimeters. So on our equation here, that is that number right there. Okay, so whatever photo reference you want to resize to match a 6-inch head, okay, you would take the measurement of your picture and put it down here, and you would divide 15.24 by the size of your picture, and you will be able to resize it on your printer. Hope that helps. Let me know. Thanks.